Hey everyone, welcome to West Coast Muscle Saws. I want to talk a little bit about the roller nose bars. Got a lot of guys interested in those and emailed me, and we'll go over some of the history of them. First, I want to show you some of Eddie's chainsaws. He's from Australia. He's one of my customers. And he showed me some pictures of his collection. Just beautiful saws. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Get a little close up here. Isn't that a beautiful saw? Let's go look at some others here. He's got a very nice collection. If we can get this to work, hang on a second here, bear with me. Isn't that beautiful? I love that saw. I've owned several of those. Beautiful saw. And let's look here. You've got some unique ones. Ones you won't see here in the States. And if you'd like to get yours featured on some of the, some of the live shows here, just let me know. We'd try to get them on there. There's a beautiful 090 with a very long bar. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then here's a, oh yeah, Super Pro 125. Always love to see those. Isn't that beautiful? And then one more shot, of his collection. Isn't that nice? Anyways, what we want to talk about today, a little history on the roller nose bars, why they use the roller nose bars. Let me get my gloves on here and we'll take a look at some of these bars. I've been around the saws since the mid-70s, and there were still a lot of what we called hard-nosed bars then. And show you what those were. Hang on a second here. These were, on the West Coast, were known as hard nose, and they had hard facing, stellite they called it, real hard facing. They welded those, laser welded them back in the day. You can look real close, you can see the hard facing right there. And then they were heat treated to keep the rails from just mushrooming out. And so if you were working on these bars and welding them, you got to realize that they're heat treated down to about here. And so you got to reheat it and temper it if you're going to repair one or weld it or do anything. But that was the start of the bars. You know, there were reason the guys didn't like these was the slowed down the power of the chain going into the wood. You can see how the drag is going around here dragging. You can imagine, well, they're not working real good back in the day. They had issues with that, and they would heat up and hammer out. I've seen that a lot. The evolution started many years ago. They actually put a roller in the bar, and I think this is I believe a Remington. I believe they were kind of in the game back then, but you can see that. And of course they did burn out, but they were really great. And what the guys liked about them is it lifted the chain over the radius and just gave the saw a lot more power. Got a lip there, you can see that, and that would hang up in the wood. Wasn't the best fix. Super hard to change. You can imagine trying to change that out and peen the rivets back over. It was doable. I did a few back then, but very difficult. Other manufacturers got in the game. You can see that one there. That's an early version. And that is a Remington, and the patent pending. They were very proud of that, and they will get it patented, and it's on a maul. It says maul on it too. They were all in the game back in the day. But Oregon's the one that really got the job done and was super popular. Every timber cutter had this. If you didn't have it, Yeah, you weren't working in the woods. It was just a great bar tip. Safety issues, of course, though. You can imagine a chain going around there and got that space there and a limb getting in there, flicking chains, flicking chains, flicking chains. That's why they went to the sprocket nose, and the early sprocket noses were not the slide in like you see today. The early sprocket nose were actually in the bar, and they were a challenge to change too. But anyway, they finally got away from all that and went with the sprocket nose, which you see today, which has really changed the chainsaw industry because of the high performance they are. A lot of guys want these for their race saws. They seem to think that it does improve the performance of when they're professionally cutting, doing the race chainsaws. But anyway. And then this is where McCullough got in trouble right here. If you do a little research, McCullough got sued by Oregon. They had a huge blowout. Kind of disrupted everything for a long time. But it says McCullough right there. If you look real close, that roller says Oregon right there. You won't see very many of these around. I've had this one for quite some time. It was a replacement tip, and McCullough branded it, of course, and they got into all kinds of hot water and it didn't go over very well. Well, guys, I just want to touch bases a little bit on that, on the history of that. I've got to get out of here. I got some things to do today, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Just want to touch bases with you. Well, hey, how you doing, John? He's got a steel chainsaw, doesn't want to go in a choke position. Had a lot of issues with that particular model. It's usually the linkage itself binding up. You're going to have to check that linkage out. Check the carburetor out, take the carburetor off, make sure all the components are working good, and you're going to have to go from there. But give me a shout. Let me write this down here. If you if you don't get it figured out, I'll help you figure it out. SawKing@hotmail.com. Give me a shout on that, and we will see if we can get your saw fixed. Listen, just a minute, I might have a note here for one of you guys. Hang on a second here. I've got to get off here. I got some business to take care of. Guys, good talking to you for the weekend. Hope everything's going your way today. Beautiful weather on the Pacific Northwest. We got a week of sunny weather. Going to be about maybe 50 degrees today, which is about norm for this area. The 441 mentioned. What you got there, Tyler? Tell me what's going on. Tyler's got a 441. You betcha. Take care now. Haul back. Just touching bases. Hey, how you doing in Indonesia? Good to hear from you. I got a lot of customers in different parts of the world. You know, if you got some issues with your saws, I also, and you probably have seen, heard, and read, I do offer a feature where you can do a live Zoom with the chainsaw guy. That's me. If you've got some issues with your business, firing up a saw shop, bar repair, mechanical repair, you know, any of those things like that, I'm more than glad to help you. It's real reasonably priced. Just then again, get hold of the SawKing@hotmail.com. And we can set up a Zoom. It's real easy to do. It costs you about $95 for a half hour of some really good information. All I ask is that you email me with all your questions so I can give you the best information I can. And we'll try to help you out. Guys, I got to get out of here. We'll catch you all later, and you guys have a great weekend.